Hey there, I'm Alex Kidman and I've got green things in my ears, and usually that'd mean time for a trip to the doctor, but not today because I'm reviewing the Google Pixel Buds Pro 2. Let's get into the review. So the reason I've got green things in my ears is because Google sent me a set of the wintergreen Pixel Buds Pro 2, although you can get them in other pixel matching colours for this year anyway, so peony and hazel and porcelain if you just want the basic white set. And the external style is okay. I mean, the green is kind of odd to me, and maybe if I had more hair, they would be less evident, but of course you would choose the style that you wanted. They are nice and comfortable though, and Google's made a couple of changes to the way they work inside, so they've got a little wingtip that you twist into your ear. I've worn them for a reasonable length of time without discomfort issues, and I am someone who generally tends to struggle with these things. If they're going to be problematic, my ears are going to hurt from them. The Pixel Buds Pro 2 also use touch controls, which I'm not super keen on in any buds. I always just find them a little bit hit and miss, and mostly miss. And look, in terms of tapping controls, yeah, I still don't love them. I don't like pushing things into my ear, basically. There is one feature, though, that Google's thrown in here, which I do think is kind of smart, because the volume control is horizontal, so you slide across your ear to turn the volume up or down, and that actually works pretty well, I've got to say. The Buds Pro 2 case is a simple little oval, nothing terribly special there. Pops open and the buds themselves magnetically sit in there for charging. That all works quite well. I do appreciate the fact that Google has stuck to having a proper physical button on the back for pairing. The ones that use either touch both headphones in the case or touch capacitive area on the case always frustrate me at some level. I'm always finding that I'm trying to pair them to some kind of Bluetooth device and they just won't go into pairing mode. Having a physical button here is so much better. In terms of durability, the Pixel Buds Pro 2 themselves are IP54 rated, while the case is IPX4 rated. So basically, you can sweat in them, and I certainly have, but you shouldn't go swimming in them. I mean, Bluetooth works like rubbish through water anyway, but they're not rated for immersion. In terms of performance, the Pixel Buds Pro 2 are Bluetooth 5.4 devices, which basically means they will pair to almost anything Bluetooth. And before you ask, yes, you can actually pair them to an iOS device. That will work, although because there's no Pixel Buds app, you really won't be able to configure them in the way you might want to, and I'm not exactly sure why you would, but it does functionally work. I have tested that. The Pixel Buds app is, though, key to using and enjoying the Pixel Buds Pro 2, and as soon as I open the Pixel Buds Pro 2 near the Galaxy 9 Pro Fold, for example, it just popped up a simple message, asked me if I wanted to pair. That then gets paired to your Google account, so in theory, any other Android device you've got should be able to natively and quickly pair to them, and again, that seems to work just fine. Now, one of the areas that I found the original Pixel Buds Pro not so great on was active noise cancelling. It worked, but it wasn't as good as competing devices in its price range. And this is something that Google has, I've found, improved a great deal on these devices. So I've tested them while out and about running, and I've tested them while I've been on a train, for example. I haven't yet done a plane flight with them. And yeah, the ANC is actually pretty good, as is the conversation mode, which is meant to switch between transparency and conversation. So if I start having a conversation with someone while I've got music going, as long as I have that feature enabled, it will relatively seamlessly switch to transparency mode, and then it's meant to switch back, although I have found that it often delays a little bit. And this is a little bit problematic because I'm not as big a fan of transparency mode in general. And that's because there is a little bit of a background hiss I've found with it. And it's not awful if I've got music going. If I've got music going, it doesn't seem to be there. But between tracks on an album, for example, or if I've just got the buds in and an album's finished and I haven't started another music or video source, whatever, yeah, there's just this noticeable low-level thing to my ears, which is not great. Could be better on a pro set of headphones. Not a killer problem, but not great. On the music front, this is always difficult with YouTube reviews because all I can do is tell you what the audio is like. I can't help you experience it. But what I'm going to say is the soundscape that the Pixel Buds Pro 2 put forth is pretty good overall. the sound through my own choice of test tracks, things like Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World or Prince's Purple Rain or the Beastie Boys' Sabotage, just to give you a kind of mix of genres and styles and musical tones, all presents rather well, generally speaking. What about microphone performance? Well, I will put the caveat that this is always variable for things like phone calls, but I did test that, and most callers could pick I was on Bluetooth headphones. You get that classic thing of them saying that you sound like you're a bit far away from the phone, and switching audio sources to just being on the phone that was paired really did prove that point. It gets through and it works, and this I can demonstrate to you because, of course, I can record what it sounds like using the Pixels Recorder app. So here's that file. So what about audio quality through the microphones? Well, again, as always, if you're talking about call quality, that's so variable on network, but this is what they sound like using the Pixel Phone Recorder app with the Pixel Buds Pro 2. Okay, so one park run with the Pixel Buds Pro 2 in, and they did okay. They stayed in. It's been a while since I've had a set of buds that really didn't stay in or were uncomfortable over that kind of length of run. Active noise cancelling, I should say, works pretty well during the run, which is how I prefer it, although basically impossible to switch it up while you're running. Was kind of handy when they were doing the parkrun briefing though, because I could switch it to active listening and then to active noise cancelling when I actually started the run. And obviously I've sweated in them and they haven't died yet. Back to me in the studio. Of course, the other side to the Pixel Buds Pro 2 is Google's Gemini app, and this is meant to let you have more natural conversational AI discussions. So instead of just asking about the weather and leaving it at that, you can then blend through other contextual pieces of information to try and get better advice or get it to look for more detail for you. And yeah, here this needs work. It's not awful. And obviously you'll need Gemini enabled, but that's coming to more and more Android phones over time. Obviously, again, best suited to the Pixel. But I just hit a few too many instances where it just couldn't work out what I was talking about, even though it was following on from the conversation we were having. Now, it's the nature of AI to improve, so hopefully that will get better down the track. On the battery life front, Google claims up to 12 hours of battery life with ANC disabled or up to 8 hours with it enabled. Now, I don't know why you'd buy a set of active noise cancelling buds and not use active noise cancelling, so I'm basically just treating these like they've got 8 hours of battery life. And the good news here is, yeah, they pretty much do. That will go up to a grand total of 30 hours with the battery charging case, although, of course, you'd have to factor in charging time. Charging time's reasonably swift, not too problematic really, although you don't get a charger in the box. You don't even get a USB-C cable. They will charge from a standard USB-C charger, however, or via Qi Wireless. So should you buy the Pixel Buds Pro 2? Well, look, I mean, it's pretty clear that the target market here are Pixel owners. It matches with the Pixel phones in the same way that I don't really think there are too many Galaxy Buds buyers who aren't Samsung owners or AirPods owners who aren't iPhone owners, although that's a rather more specialised case, of course. And look, these do work well and they are better than the original Pixel Buds Pro were. So if you're a Pixel owner, yeah, they're a pretty natural fit. If you're not, if you've just got a wider Android phone, yeah, I mean, they'll work and you can totally pair with the Pixel Buds app in that case. You can totally configure them. But there are a wider choice at this price range, and I'd certainly shop around and consider your options. Anyway, that's my take on the Pixel Buds Pro 2. Got any thoughts, got any comments? Hit me up in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thank you.